Hello, this is Alex Kapitanakis for Atlas Group, and today I want to talk to you about something that's been happening all throughout the news and some very disturbing changes in the way we are all going to live. Recently, one of the signs of what has been happening is because of the protests in Canada, they have decided to invoke emergency powers, and those emergency powers have included wiping out people's entire ability to use their banks, their savings accounts. They have been denied insurance. Companies that have refused to help, for example, tow truck companies, have been threatened with taking of their licenses, so they will never be able to work again. One of the things that we can come up, this began to happen in the US as well, where people who were not getting vaccinated are being kicked out of their jobs. And what we're starting to see is a pattern of economic strong arm, tyrannical behavior to stop you from being able to make a living. One of the things that is even more disturbing is that it has been declared by the leaders of some of these countries that those who are in disagreement with the political stance of the government are considered to be the people that will be punished financially. So the financial punishment of taking away what you have, what is yours, what is your property, what belongs to you, is now the normal behavior of the new governments. And by that, yes, it started in Canada, but the most disturbing thing is the Canadian Prime Minister has been getting a lot of advice and approval from the American president. And we can see that the World Economic Forum is involved in all of this. This is something that anybody who has an opinion, anybody who has a bank account, anybody who has a business had better start getting concerned about. It began, and I talked about it in a different video, with punishing unpopular political views and stances with some people like the My Pillow guy. And now it's gone to natural, normal, everyday, blue-collar people. If this can affect the blue-collar worker financially, it's affecting everybody, and it has now reached everybody. This is something that we are now having to consider, all of us, as to what other alternatives there are. Not only people's bank accounts, but as you know, people who had attempted to do GoFundMe not only had their funding frozen, but those people were visited by government officials for the very act of providing money to charity. Something that's been done throughout all of our history and has been tolerated even if it was unpopular. Now we have all of the money that's being given is now being reviewed by government. Private industry is now working with government as partners. This is something that's happening worldwide, and it's getting worse, faster, and faster. There will be a point in time where you will not be able to escape this. There will be a point in time where there will be only what they say, what the government says, what the banks say to you will be it. And your money, your property will be subject to their control. This isn't a joke. This isn't This isn't a crazy conspiracy theory. It's happening, and it's happening right before your very eyes. And now it's time to start thinking very seriously about taking control of your assets. You cannot control the dollar, you cannot control the euro. This is something that belongs to the central bank, and the central banks control it, and the governments control the central banks. You can't do anything about that. But you can start thinking about finding an alternative. Put your money, or at least a large part of your money, where you can hold it with your hands. Take it outside of that third-party risk control. Put your money in your hands. Put your money in gold. Put your money in silver. Put your money in a cryptocurrency that you can control, and you have access to the key. You have the key, no one else. You must start thinking independently. You have to start taking control over your own property. You can't do anything about banks. You can't do anything about insurance companies. They have control over that. But you can start to buy gold and silver and other precious metals and put them in a safe, independent location that is not associated with a bank. You have to start doing this, and I really recommend that you start looking into safe jurisdictions outside of your jurisdiction, outside of your own home base. You need to start thinking outside of the box. Go where you're treated fairly. Go where there is less intrusion. We can tell you, we recommend, we can go to Panama, go to Atlas Vault. You can store your gold and silver there. We'll be happy to help you with even buying gold and silver because we're part of Atlas Group. You need to start thinking in terms of independence. This isn't going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And this is the only time you will have to freely start looking for those alternatives. Look to safe jurisdictions. Keep your money private. Keep your money in your control. Keep your money in assets that will increase in value, that will not be subject to a $30 trillion debt that the U.S. government has just invoked. Keep your money in your hands and be your own central bank. Let us help you. Give us a call. But take action, whether you call us or not. Take action to make sure you do not become a victim. Do this for yourself. Thank you.